Well, hello there. Welcome back to my streams. Alex Preda here. Yesterday I dived into one of my tracks, which was released on Elke Klein's label, Days Like Nights. That was back in February, and I started to go through elements that I've put into the track, and today I'll continue. Actually, with the hats, because that's a very interesting topic. Because the hats are a very important element, of course. First, going to let you hear the track. It actually has a pretty long break. I think actually this track has the longest breaks of all my other tracks. 2 minutes. I'll just skip a bit through. Anyway, yeah, this is the track. If you want to check it out, you can find it, of course, on Beatport and Spotify. So, back to the project. Let's see, where were we? I was here at the rides. The hats, yeah, it just gives swing to the track. It gives energy, and when you take the hats out, I don't know, when you want to have something else happening, like preparing for a breakdown, you want to have a vocal coming in, then you can announce it actually in electronic music, in the kind of music that we make for the dance floor. You can announce it by bringing down the hats and of course taking out some other elements as well. So that can be actually pretty impactful. And also when you have a drop, it's nice to remove some of the hats and just maybe have one hat or just a few. Some producers don't do that, and it just goes on and on with the hats. Yeah, I also noticed in the club when you have less hats, less elements, and you have the drop, then everyone is just going mad. Of course, the track has to be, you have to have like proper hook in a way and good drive. So hats have definitely massive impact, and I think, yeah, if you are starting up or if you're not making music for that long, then you might oversee this aspect. Going back to the track, I don't know if you have been watching the previous streams. I use quite a few hats in my tracks, and then I take them out if they are too many. So for instance, you see here, I'm gonna group this. There is like 1, two. Well, those are the rides, but anyway, they are treated in a similar fashion. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 hats. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, just gonna start with one of the top ones. I was talking yesterday about the rides. So let me go into this one. Actually, this has a swing to it. And yeah, I have already in the swing groove panel here on the left. I've got a groove preset, and actually the swing, the syncopation is, well, the syncopation is pretty straightforward, but the swing of it, I've done it pretty much manually, and as you can see here on the velocity, it starts high and then it's floating in a way, and you hear it also. If I would be to put everything all the way up, it just sounds not so interesting. No. So when it's like this, that's a nice flow. And then in the context, it is so subtle that yeah, you really have to pay attention to it. However, to the groove, it adds up and it makes the track move, so it doesn't stay in one place. It's not flat. Actually, this is a collection from Concrete Drums, and these drums are from Ableton. You have here more packs. And let me see if I can search. Ah, there you go. So it's coming from here, and it's absolutely amazing. And the way they recorded it, yeah, you can also see it here in the pictures, pretty much with the synthesizers, and they recorded like also from piano. Anyway, what they did then, this is very interesting also. They recorded by destroying certain instruments or drilling holes in the walls. I don't know, dropping screws and all that stuff. Power tools, and it's very, very interesting. So you get it. It's categorized, I think. Okay, that one is coming from drums 1, but I think in the 3 they made categories. Let's see if also in the 1 samples, bipolar. Oh yeah. So you see it here, they made categories for per element, per drumming elements, and it's super interesting. Oh yeah, so basically you can make an entire drumming arrangement from these elements. However, they are quite rough, so you have to work on them quite a bit to make them sound the way you want. However, for what I'm using them for the hats, it's really interesting because, I mean, you can pretty much extract a hat sound from anything as long as it has enough attack, the sample. Let me see, which one did I use here? Yeah, this one actually sounds like a hat. A lot of processing, but there are some other sounds here. What's cool when you get sounds from somewhere else, like for instance this pack, which sounds in a way unique, you can really take out certain characters which do not find them necessarily in the generic samples that are there. So that's what I like about this pack, because yeah, you can really add an extra layer on your drumming sequence really. Let's see the track. This is actually a loop that I have. Used to download quite a lot of stuff from Splice for a while. I had a lot of credits there from not using them in the past, but then I started to use them. I got so many samples. Let me see if this one has any. No, this is also pretty straightforward. Like I said also in my other videos, I go through my sample library and I keep only what I like and what I feel I could use in some way. So I never keep the things that I hope I might use. I keep the stuff that I know I'm gonna use, and then they just pretty much make sense in my productions. So these ones don't have a lot of processing on them. Also, this is an earlier version from this project, so the processing, the EQing is done later on in a different version. But of course, so this one also has a really nice swing to it, this hat. And you can also see it here on the screen. So here in this part, this is a nice, the nice character of this head that I like. So that one I'm just gonna leave it there like it is. Another head. This is pretty, yeah, straightforward. And yeah, here I have volume automation on this one. Yeah, on this particular head, this ecstasy loop, I put this noise drum from the native Ableton plugins, and you see the automation, and this is just before the break, and what it does, it's building up the tension, and then it's a release here. Oh. And I like that. Okay. And as you can see on the arrangement, the hats are basically changing in a way, so they don't go for the duration of the whole track, and they're not constant. So like here in this part, I'm using a bit of this hat 5, and then I take it out and I bring it on later, and it happens pretty much the same with this blue one at 6, and then in the second part I bring up some more hats. And it's interesting, you know, when you listen to the track from beginning to the end and you change the character of the hats, it becomes more interesting, you know. So in a way, that's what I was trying to do. But also, when you come in the second part with a new hat that fills up nicely the space, of course, it's welcome. And of course, the same principle is used with the synths when you have. No, you have a synthesizer, and then you have the uh, filter envelopes. You have the, I don't know, maybe you have a distortion, you have delay, you have some kind of modulation, and maybe you even change the waveform a bit as you go along, as the track progresses, and you keep the interest in the track, you know, by changing those parameters. And that's actually, yeah, it's the key in music production. So in pretty much all my tracks, I stick to this concept. And of course, it's not only about that, but you know, I first have to have something that's really giving me a pleasant feeling. And if I don't get a good vibe from the track, then yeah, I'm not gonna be bothered. So that's the first element that needs to be into the right place. Otherwise, no matter what you do, is not gonna change the feeling of the track in that perspective. So it has to do, first has to be like a good hook, you know, melody, and then it goes into, of course, the bass, the drums, and really for what track, you know, is it for the dance floor, is it for the listening only? So yeah, let me show you also these hats, these other hats. Again, I'm using the concrete drums, and I think these are also hat drums, hat samples, sorry. And these are quite heavy, like really metallic. Yeah, for instance, this is more like a shaker. This is the main character of the track, actually. Sorry, the main character of the hats. Yeah. Actually, this is really nice. This one in particular. So yeah, layering, and then I've got here different starting points of the notes. What this does is basically, like I talked also yesterday about the kick. So by moving them, you know, in relation to the bar, and well, let's say this is the bar, and then you get a different kind of vibe, and it has to do with the phasing, and then it's the same with the hi-hats, really. I would be to put them the bar, just to, I don't know, too straight in a way. When it's a bit like this, it's again very subtle, but it's better. Okay, and this other hat, this is yeah, I remember this. Actually, I wanted to have it to have the hats only from vocal recordings. I tried that myself, but at that time I didn't have yeah, I wasn't confident with the equipment that I had with the microphone precisely. Although later on I learned that you can do it with the, even with the microphone from your phone. You can record and then you can just, yeah, take out from there pretty much any sounds, because nowadays the microphones from the phones are really good. But anyhow, I wanted to record with my voice, but then yeah, it wasn't a success, and I gave up on that. And I found in the same concrete drums, I found also more human-like sounding hats. And what I like about this one, that you have at the end this sounds like the person is taking a breath, or is no, it's more like inhaling. Yeah. So and yeah, of course I like that. Again, the processing hasn't been done. Yeah, these are basically the hats. Tomorrow I'll continue with the other elements of the drums. Let me see, I'm gonna go also into the, well, I'm gonna go into the percussion side. Yeah, let's see how far will I get tomorrow.